Welcome back to Let's Make a Game, a channel about making computer role-playing games using the free program Twine and the Sugarcube format for Twine. In this video, I would like to show you two techniques for preserving code that you've written without having that code execute. So first of all, why would you want to do that? Well, the main reason is probably because you're not sure. So you code the game to work a particular way, and then you think, no, I've actually got a better idea. I'm going to get rid of all this and do plan B instead. But you know that plan B might not work and you might have to go back to plan A. And you don't want to, if that happens, you don't want to write all of the code from scratch. You want to have it ready to just put back in. That's the main reason. You might also want to have it there as something for someone who looks at the program to say, all right, well, it's done this way. You might want to have it work this other way. And if you do want to have it work this other way, here's code to make that happen. So on to the techniques. I think that I've done both of these in previous videos, but I wanted to have a video specifically dedicated to doing these things because that makes it easier to find. I often forget how to do things that I've talked about in previous videos, and then I go into my account and I search my own videos, and obviously that only works if there's a video whose title fits what I'm searching for. So this is here for if you, a year down the track, you think, now I do want to preserve code, and I know I've seen a video about this, but I can't remember how to do it. And so you can search, let's make a game preserving code or something like that, and it will come up. So on to the two techniques, which are, firstly, you cut and paste it into a separate passage or page, and secondly, you turn the code into a comment. So, cutting and pasting into a new page. Here we have some code that is a good example of something that I might want to preserve, but not execute. It is the code to print all of the characters in order of how they're going to act in a combat. This is from my current project of making a combat system for a user's game. And I don't intend for this to be in the final version. It's just for me to see that, yes, the system is putting the characters in the correct order. But it's a fairly extensive bit of code, so perhaps I might want it in case the user decides, well, actually, yeah, I do want a list of the results. So I want everything on this page, so I go Command A. I'm on a Mac. If I was on a PC, I would go Control A to select everything. If I didn't want to select the whole page, I'd have to do it by moving the mouse by hand, of course. But either way, once I've selected everything, I go Command or Control X to cut it. Then I go Passage, New, create a new page here, and then we just Command V or Control V to paste it in, and then I might rename this something descriptive like that. All right, so let's put it back, and I'll show you the other technique. Okay. So the other technique is simply to turn it into a comment. So as you probably know, you can make comments by having this selected the wrong thing. Less than exclamation mark dash dash, which looks a little bit like an arrow, and then you write whatever you want, and then you go dash dash greater than. And everything within those two arrows is a comment. In other words, the program will just skip over it. It won't execute it, even if it is valid code. And you don't have to have, usually it's on a single line, but you don't have to have it on a single line. You can do something like that. So that means that we can have this at the beginning of the code we want to preserve, that the sort of left facing arrow thing, and then we put the right facing arrow down there, and that makes this whole page a comment. And again, I would probably put some description of what it was. Old code to display initiative results or something like that. Okay, so as I say, I think I've done both of those things before at some point, but I wanted a video specifically dedicated to it. Coming up, I'm going to return to my the combat project, and specifically we're going to talk about keeping track of distance and making the enemies move and attack. But for now, I hope that was useful or interesting to at least some of you, and I hope you will tune in next time.